Mm-mm. Is facial on here? Tripping. See, I ain't see facial. All right. All right. Let me. I'm a quick audible. Quick audible. France, you ready? You ready, France?
Let's go. I'm with it.
Let's go. Let's go. One clap for France. Let's go. Let's go. France go get us started off. I'm gonna make sure Facia got the link and she'll double back. She'll go after France. Let's go.
All right, boom. Everybody clap it up for yourself. Everybody clap it up for yourselves. Snow day. Man, they making us make sure we get paid today. So let's make sure we get the knowledge to go ahead and get paid as well. Just about that. Boom. So today we're
Yo.
gonna be going over reading the room. Now, does everybody have a notebook, pen, or even a notepad? If you do, go ahead and put your thumbs up. All right, reading the room. Reading the room. Beta, tell me what you think reading the room is.
Y'all can hear me?
Yes, sir.
I say I believe that reading the room is evaluating your surroundings and your environment. So basically is try to pick up on nonverbal cues, try to look for like maybe I look for like for old people, I look for like the ramp, or I look for
Mm.
like they smokers, I look for ashtrays. So like reading my environment and also trying to pick up on nonverbal cues.
Juice. One clap for beta. Boom. So I'm gonna give you guys a definition, and you hit it spot on. I'm gonna give you guys a definition of what reading the room is. I'm gonna give you guys three forms of definition as well. Take it how you want. If the shoe fits, wear it. So boom, reading the room is a salesperson skill of assessing audience dynamics and buyer signals to determine when to push, pause, probe, or pivot in order to move with the sale. I'll repeat that one more time for you guys. Reading the room is a salesperson's skill of assessing audience dynamics and buyer signals to determine when to push, pause, probe, or pivot in order to move the conversation or the sale effectively. Ace, what does that mean to you?
Repeat one more time.
I
You was
said, all right, one
breaking
more
in and
time.
out.
Reading the room, reading the room is a salesperson's skill of assessing audience dynamics and buyer signals to determine when to push, pause, probe, or pivot in order to move the conversation or sale effectively.
What does that mean to me? It shows you how if you need to continue the sail forward or if you need to stop. It's like fighting for me. As you know, I box. It's about reading like coverage, reading how a person will move and understanding how you can move the sail forward.
Juice, one clap for Ace. Boom. In other words, reading the room means knowing what to say, how to say it, and when to stop talking. Now, the reason why this is so important is because a lot of times we may go into a sale yapping up a storm. We're yapping up a storm. The customer's not hearing what we're saying, so we have to know exactly when to stop talking. We also need to know what to say depending on what room that we're actually in with a customer. Sometimes we may hop into a high demographic area, and let's be honest, we'll start talking ghetto in somebody's home. It doesn't make any sense. We got to know exactly where we're at, what room we're in, how to speak, how to say something, and know when to stop talking. And another way it's going to be, I'm going to say to you guys is reading the room. You want to read the room before the room reads you. Reasons why is because one or two things are going to happen. Either you're going to win the sale or the customer's going to win the sale as well. Don't let the customer win the sale. Just by that. Boom. Now I'm going to give you guys a
Juice.
couple of reasons why it's important to go ahead and read the room. It's not just about being confident, but it's also about being collaborated. Different buyers respond to different tones, meaning your energy sets the bar. If your energy is just a little off, it could collapse the whole entire sale. Again, I'm gonna say that one more time. It's not just about being confident, but it's also about being calibrated. Different buyers respond to different tones. If your energy is what sets the bar, if your energy is off by just a little bit, you're gonna be able, or you'll be able to go ahead and collapse the whole entire sale. Who I'm gonna go? I'm gonna go Kiana. What do I mean by that, Kiana? Oh, Kiana. All right, boom, audible. Let's go, Ebony.
Again, good morning. Basically, a lot of people that are in sales, they go in with the product knowledge. And if somebody don't know what you coming to their door for anyway, that's not always important. You have to build a rapport with the person because that could cause you a sale. They're not trying to hear what you guys say. They want to feel comfortable at least to even know why you there. So you just got to keep in mind to build a rapport and watch what their actions are. If they're looking like they're anxious or ready to leave, try to be quick, you know what I'm saying?
Juice, one clap for Ebony. I like that. Boom. So yeah, you want to understand. I'm gonna give you guys a couple of examples. If you're too casual, you could lose authority in the sale. If you're too serious, you can have no connection in the sale. If you're too jolly, you won't be taken serious in the sale again. I'm gonna repeat those three things right there. If you're too casual, you may lose authority in the sale. If you're too serious, you may not have no connection in the sale. If you're too jolly, you may not get took serious in that sale. Now, Asia, what do I mean by that?
So can you guys hear me? All right.
Yes, ma'am.
So basically, when you're too casual and you're just going with the flow with the sale, you're not showing some type of grit or authority for them to actually want to buy in or just basically listen to what you say. If you're too serious, some people are more of like a vibe type of people. So if you're too serious, they're going to think as far as they're hearing everything else they've heard out of door 9 times out of 10 before. And then with the too jolly, like if you don't know how to control either your emotions or if you're too happy, some people just want it done right then and there. You're trying to be too jolly to gain on the sale. And that's not what's not happening.
Juice, one clap for that. Oh. Now we're gonna get into the next why. The next why is because you'll start to understand who in the room is for you and who in the room is not for you. Sometimes we waste our own times in people's homes, knocking on doors because we're not reading who the person is once we get there. There's a saying that you get looked at and you get read within the first 7 seconds when you're at a door. What are certain ways what we look at a door that we're able to read a customer within the first 7 seconds? Meaning, when you get to the door, what are you looking at first? Let's go, Beta. I see your hand up.
No, this is a fire topic actually. But the things that I'm really looking for is one, I'm looking to see if people there, see if the car is parked. First of all, we need somebody to be there for us to get the sale. You know, you gotta look for if somebody at the crib. Second, I'm looking for like I said, like see if I see like toys outside. Maybe they got kids. Seeing if I see like a ramp. See if they're an older person. Maybe I gotta slow down. You know, maybe I gotta talk more proper. See if they're young. Maybe they got a college sticker on the door. I remember when I was working out DC. I was working around what's that called around? I forgot. It was like Northwest, but it was a lot of college kids around there. So I was like, they all had like this sticker on their door. So I'm now I can speak like to people that's around my age. So just basically just looking for cues so you can understand. Just like when you said when to read the room, that's when the push, the pause, or when to pivot. Because you got to know what type of tone you're going to come to at the door. Because I like what you said. Different buyers responded to different tones. So I got to know what tone to use. With grandma, I got a little slower. College kids, I can speak a little bit more fluently. And then with like people who got kids, I gotta relate more because I got kids myself.
Juice, one clap for Beta. Oh. So in other words, we want to be able to read the door before we even get to the door. Now I'm gonna give you guys a couple things that I want you guys to take down to look at whenever you pull up to somebody's door. The first thing is look at the cars in the area. The cars in the area will tell you exactly where you're at. It'll tell you what type of demographic you're gonna run into, and it'll tell you what ethnicity you're gonna run into as well. Look at the cars. Don't look at the car in the driveway. Look at the cars on the streets. I love little busted tires. I love to see the bumpers off. I love to see the cars not clean. I love to see the grass a little low. So the first thing is look at the cars. The second thing is look at someone's porch. You'll be able to tell if they have kids or not just by looking at their porch. Because once you're able to tell what type of person they are behind that door, you'll know exactly how to fix your pitch to this exact person. Do you see that? The next thing is, I love screen doors, and one thing I'm not a fan of is somebody knocking behind the screen door. I want you to start opening the screen door and start knocking the door. You want to know why? Because you'll be able to get the smell of a customer's home before they even open up the door. That's going to tell you a lot. Oh, it smells like a nursing home. I know I'm dealing with somebody that's a little bit older. It smells like pee in here. I know I might be dealing with somebody that's a little bit dirty. Oh, it smells like cigarettes. I'm dealing with somebody that's adding on to the carbon pollution. I know exactly how to go ahead and handle this person or speak to them. The next thing you always want to look for when you're going up to somebody's door is how their door looks. Now, I learned a few weeks ago, I was at a sale and I knocked on the person's door with my hand. I went like this, bang, 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 bang. And they came out like on timing, like they came out yelling at me. They threatened to call the police. I ended up de-escalating the situation. But what I realized was I asked, I said, why'd you get so mad at me just knocking on your door? She said, I'm not mad at the fact that you're knocking on my door. She said, I'm mad because if you use your knuckles, you're going to stain my door. That took me to a whole different level of understanding of what somebody may feel. She wasn't even mad at the fact I knocked on her door. A lot of times we being a little cold, let's be real, our hands are a little ashy, right or wrong. We be knocking on doors, the knuckles get ashy as hell. Then you go and you knock on somebody's door. Guess what you're leaving on their door? Ash. She got mad at me because I left ash on her door. I asked her, I said, would have been a better way for me to knock. She said, with your pen. She even had to put me on game. She said, it's more professional when you knock with your pen. I was like, damn. So she was like, you'll know how somebody cares about their home just by how their doors look. And then I put the theory to the test, and you'll always know that at a door. So look for those things whenever you're going to somebody's door. Now we're going to start getting into the hows. The how we're going to be able to start reading the room. The first way how is scan for the pace, the tone, the posture, structure, and attention. I'm going to repeat those 5 things again. Scan for your customer's pace, their tone, their posture, their structure, as well as their attention. The reason why you're going to scan for their pace as well as their tone, you want to start understanding, is your customer talking with excitement when they respond, or are they just trying to tell you no nicely? I'm going to repeat that again. Are they talking with excitement when they respond, or are they just trying to tell you no nicely? You'll understand that in the tone. My fault, y'all. Let me put my laptop on the charger. So again, you'll understand that just like that. Boom. So again, the pace, the tone, the posture, the structure, and attention. The reason why we go and we have to pay attention to the posture is because is your customer leaning in as they're talking to you, or are they leaning backwards? That's either a buying sign or trying to tell you no. If a person's leaning into you while you're talking, that means they're interested in what you're saying. If they're leaning backwards, it kind of shows that they're a little standoffish and that they're a little skeptical. Big E, why is that important?
Because it'll let me know at the door whether I should go I can go the extra mile with someone or ask certain questions to that person depending on the body language that they're showing me. And also it lets me know how much time did I need to spend at the door.
Just about that. One clap for E. Now the last one, attention, structure and attention. Always pay attention to if your customer is paying attention to you. I know a lot of times we're at the door, we're talking to the customer's going in the mailbox, they're saying hi to their neighbor across the street, they're worried about their car, they're worried about their grass. Sometimes we're talking to people and they're not even giving us eye contact. Small things like that will show you if a customer is engaged or not. If I see that a customer is not engaged, one or two things have to happen. I have to either one, leave the room or change the dynamic of the room. Whatever I'm saying to this person must not be that important, that their mail is more important than what I'm saying. A stranger's at their door, but they're more excited to grab their mail than listen to what you have to say. If you get that a lot, start changing the dynamic and the approach of what room that you're in so that they're able to go ahead and put that attention on you. You about that?
Bruce.
The next one is know when it's closing time. Know when it's closing time. And I want you guys to ask yourself 2 questions whenever you're about to close to know exactly when it's closing time. One question is, have you done everything in your power to answer all of their questions? Again, have you done everything in your power to answer all of their questions? The second one is, have you solved their problem and have them in yes mode? Have you solved their problems and have them in yes mode? If the answer is yes to both of those questions, it's time for them to get on that phone call. Why? We don't want to start prolonging certain things. I love having extra conversation, but we have to understand the reason of why we're in this room in the first place. It's for us to sell and close, sell and close. So when you're in that room, understand exactly what time it is to sell and close. The last how is going to be, and if you can't do this, trust me, this is, sales is not for everybody. It could be for anybody, but it's not for everybody. But when you're selling and it's time for you to read the room, understand that you're your own room as well. I'm going to repeat that again so that doesn't go over a lot of people's heads. Understand that your customer is trying to read your room as well. So we're kind of fighting here. I'm in your house trying to read your room, and you're trying to read my room as well. Make it just as hard for them to read your room the same way they make it hard for you. Because one thing people that are buying, they love is curiosity. I love when I'm inside somebody's home and they kind of tell me like, yo, what do you do? How long you been doing this? They really don't care about who I am. They're just trying to figure out, am I expertise enough to go ahead and see their bill? Am I expertise enough to take down their choice ID numbers? Am I expertise enough to know their full name? So they're trying to read my room as well. And I'm gonna give you guys one tip, and this is the last tip before we get into a checklist. That one tip is ask the most questions. When you ask the most questions, you're the person that's in control of the whole conversation. A lot of times we'll go into the sale or we'll be inside somebody's home just trying to tell them. When you ask them questions, you're probing yourself for the next answer. You want to always be questions ahead or answers ahead. You got to know what they're saying. And the only way you'll know about what they're saying is the more practice as well as the more people that you're speaking to as well. Now I'm going to give you guys a checklist of what I want you guys to go ahead and check off every single time so that you'll know if you have your customer in the bag or if you don't. The first check on that checklist is, and I hope everybody's writing this down, is engagement check. Ask yourself these 3 questions. Are they fully present with you? Eye contact, they're not multitasking, their dog's not barking, their kids don't need them. Are they engaged with everything that you have going on? The next one is, are they reacting to what you're saying? Are they nodding with you? Are they smiling? Are they giving you verbal confirmations? Are they giving you posture confirmations? If you're not getting that, your customer is not engaged with you at all. The last one, are they asking you follow-up questions? If they're asking you follow-up questions, you have to start hitting them with qualifying questions as well. Why? Because if they're the ones that's asking you the questions, who is in control of the conversation?
Them.
Exactly. Them. So we want to make sure that we're the ones that's in control of the whole entire conversation. The next checklist is verbal signal scan. Do they agree out loud? For example, they're letting you know that makes sense. Yeah, I understand that. I love when a customer's like, yeah, that makes sense. That's the reason why it smells like that out here. Yes, that's exactly why it does. Are they agreeing with you out loud? Do they hedge? Does anybody know what hedge means?
Like a half answer, I guess.
Exactly. A hedge is basically they're like, I'll think about it, or maybe, or we'll see in the near future. If they're giving you a hedge, you want to pause real quick because again, once they hedge, that means they're a little bit skeptical of you. So if they're hedging, that means we have to change the way the room is. We got to ask them questions to make sure that they're on our side. And in our terms, that's a qualifying question. And then, do they defend the status quo? Do they defend the status quo? They're letting you know they already did this. Their bill went up. They're defending literally the name that we may have on ourselves. A lot of times we go to people do it. What is their first response? We're scams. We raise people bills. We're really not giving people renewable energy. We're here for our money. We're here for our commissions, but we're not here to save the world. If they're defending that narrative, you got to change the way that your room is in. You either got to, one, change your room or get out of that room. The number 3 of the checklist is body language as well as tone. Do they have open posture and a relaxed tone? If they're open with you, you can move forward with it. Now, if they're a little bit more closed off, it's going to be harder to move forward. So meaning you have to open them up a little bit. How you'll know that is, a lot of times we'll be at doors, people be like this. If I'm like this while you're breaking down my bill, what do you assume I'm thinking in my mind? Let's go,
I should
Kristen.
have never gave you my bill,
I should have never gave you my bill. Who was that?
Tori.
One clap for Tori. Tori. I should have never gave you my bill. If I'm at the door, Kristen, and I'm like this, you got my bill in your hand. I'm just going like this. My eyebrows is like this. What are you thinking? Kristen.
Sorry, I had to unmute. Just that you're not real sure about what I'm explaining to you.
Exactly. Let's go with, I'm going to go with Aaron. Is this Queen's Aaron? Aaron? If I'm like this at the door while you have my bill in your hand, what am I thinking?
I'm thinking you're real skeptical, man. I can't lie.
Exactly. Now let's go, Gerald. Gerald, if I'm like this while you got my bill in my hand and I'm like, yeah, I like this, what are you going to start thinking? Can't hear you, bro. You're muted.
Honestly, I parked in. You don't know what's going on. You just like this.
I'm like this at the door.
Like if you like nod your head at me like that.
Yeah, you got my bill in your hand. You breaking it down. I'm like this. How you gonna feel?
Oh yeah, you know what's going on. You like that, yeah. You know.
Now it's time for us to go ahead and close. Boom. So then we got the next one. Is the energy rising or dropping as you speak? Always understand those two. A lot of times we may speak so much where the energy starts to drop, or a lot of times we may speak so little whereas the energy will start to drop. Always keep a balance and know when your energy is rising and when your energy is dropping as well. Now, the next checklist is question quality. Question quality. If you start to get these questions, know that you're on the winning side and that you read the room and that you're able to go ahead and close. If they start asking you, how does this work? That's a tactical question. That's a question to understand the tactics behind what we're selling. The next one is, are there questions strategic? Is it what's going to look like my bill next month? How is my bill like next month? Will my bill go down? Am I going to save money? These type of questions are strategical questions that they're trying to figure out so that they'll be able to budget a lot more. Or if they don't have any questions at all. If a customer doesn't have any questions, one or two things. Either one, they don't care about what you're saying, or two, they're an ace customer and they're ready to get the process moving forward. The next one is, and I'm gonna give you guys 3 tips. If it's a tactical question, educate briefly, then tie it back down to the features as well as the benefits. Educate briefly, then tie it back down to the features as well as the benefits. If it's a strategical question, use the buying intent and advance the deal. Meaning, if a customer's asking they're going to save money, my response is going to be, you're going to have a lot more control and stability over your bill. I may not guarantee to save. I don't live here with you, but I can guarantee that you'll have more peace of mind and control over your bill. The next one is, if there's none, check exactly. If there's no question at all, check for the confusion or check for if there was some sort of disagreement in you guys' sale. So boom. Number 5 is objection awareness. Do you avoid objections or do you hit them right on the nail? We don't want to avoid objections because customers are able to go ahead and sniff that out. Now let's go, Juan. Why are customers able to sniff out if we're able to avoid their objections? Or if we're avoiding their objections?
Shit, what was the question again?
I'm looking, Juan, that's Juan?
I don't know.
The question is, if a customer has no questions at all, why should I be trying to figure out why they have some sort of disagreement in what I'm saying?
All right, so can you repeat the question? Sorry.
I said, if a customer has no questions at all, why should I figure out where they misunderstood or where there was a disagreement in what we were talking about?
Well, if the customer doesn't have any questions, so basically all the time the customer has any questions, so I ask him, do you have any question for me? So if he say no, so I just go straight to the close. So because he don't have any questions, so I already explained everything. So I think if you don't have any questions, so I'll go direct, like I told you, to the close.
Juice, one clap for one. Now, Ace, what could be the opposite side of what he just said if a customer has no questions?
For me, I love when the customer has questions. It shows that they're engaged.
Y'all heard him?
For me.
Yeah, I can't hear you. One clap for Ace though. Boom.
You kind of skipped me a little bit.
Basically, what he said is if a customer is asking questions, it shows that they're engaged. If they're not asking questions, it can show that they're not engaged. Boom. Number 6, the decision dynamics. When you're in the room, who speaks the most versus who influences decisions? I'm gonna repeat that. This is a big one with our third-party interruptions. Who speaks the most versus who influences decisions? The person that you might be talking to about the bill might not be the person that's actually making the decision. So meaning while we're inside of the room, we have to always understand who's the talker and who's the person that's going to walk the walk. You're going to have one of those two in the house. Whoever's the talker and whoever's the one that's going to walk the walk. The next one is in decision dynamics is any visual or visible disagreements or side conversations. If I'm inside of a home and I see a lot of side conversations while I may have a bill in the hand, I need to address that. That may be the side conversation that's going to end the whole entire sale. A lot of times we have third-party interruptions, but we're able to not have them if we were just paying attention to the room. Do you see that?
Yes.
Boom.
Yes.
The next one is whoever the stakeholder or whoever the decision maker is in the house quiet, or are they disengaged, or are they putting the work onto somebody else? I love when they put the work onto somebody else because all I gotta do is get that person away. But just because they're disengaged or they may be quiet, always keep in your mind that they're the ones that can end this sale immediately. So always understand the decision dynamics whenever you're in a home. Boom. Now, let's go to number 7. You wanna read the room temperature. Now, I don't mean Fahrenheit. I don't mean how many degrees it is in the room. You wanna read the room temperature. If it's rushed, that means you need to slow it down. If you feel as though they're trying to rush you, if you feel as though they say they got to leave real quick, I know sometimes because a person's moving fast, we want to move fast with them, but still make sure we're educating the people whenever we're moving fast with them. Because if you're not, there's going to come a point in time when you make it on TPV that they're going to go ahead and drop because we've rushed it. If they're curious, use cases as well as stories. Meaning start educating yourself on certain things that's going around in the area of where you're at and use it if a customer is curious. We get it a lot here in Cincinnati. They'll usually ask us if everyone in the area is doing this, or if this is a Cincinnati thing, or if this is an Ohio thing. And then we'll usually have case studies that show that this is an Ohio thing, or that this is a Cincinnati thing as well. So always, if a customer is curious, have cases and have stories. And if a customer is skeptical, build credibility before pitching. Now, what do you think I mean by building credibility before pitching? Let's go, Ash.
You want to be able to have that rapport with them where they could believe what you say and that, you're not just saying anything. Like you have proof to stand behind it.
And how would you do
that? Me, it's just documentation beats conversation. I like to show them proof, like especially since we got the brochures. The brochures is not just a prop that we give at the end of the sale. It's something where if you use it properly, you'll be able to maximize on everything you need. Because most of the questions that they have is right there on the pamphlet. It's just a matter of you showing them it. And then especially once they get on the call, it ties it all together where they see you have that credibility.
Dude, damn, one clap for Ash. Oh, and then the last one is number 8 is have a rep self-check. Sometimes you got to check yourself when you're on the field. You got to ask yourself, am I moving too fast or do I need to slow down? Am I talking less than the buyer? Did I adjust my pace or my message? And did I earn the right to close this customer? It's a right to close a customer. It's not just going to come off a skill. It's going to come off small things as far as tactics, characteristics, things of that nature. So again, have a rep self-check. Am I talking less than the buyer? Did I adjust my pace or my message? And did I earn the right to move forward? Once you go through this checklist right here, you'll be able to know why you didn't close the customer and why you did close the customer. So other than that, let's go ahead and clap it up for ourselves. Reading the room. We're gonna go ahead and take some feedback, take some questions, take some questions, some feedback. I'm gonna give a couple names. Let's start off with Christina. Christina Young. What did you feel about reading the room?
How I feel about reading the room?
Yes, ma'am.
I feel like that's like the most important thing to do because like if they're not like interested or anything, no matter like what you say, they're just not going to be interested.
And Juice, one clap for Christina. Now let's go Zahar.
My biggest takeaway was read the room before the room reads you, because you want to be just able to just see the person and then like not have them like closing you. Like you want to like be closing the person. You don't want them to just like, yeah, that's what I feel like.
One clap for Zahar. Let's go Dion. Dion from North. Dion.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, what's your takeaway?
My main takeaway that I got, it was definitely like reading what's around you more. Because, a lot of the time we think like door to door, we just like knock from different door to different door from different door. But we got to acknowledge that it is like home to home as well. We got to like really analyze the homes that you're at so you know how to respond better.
Juice, one clap for him. Let's go Jilson.
Probably my favorite thing that you said was like during the bill breakdown, because I what I've learned is that's when you can know if you have your customer or if you're gonna lose your customer, right? So the type of body language that they're giving you, not in their head, or if they're scratching their head like this, or if they're doing this. Probably the biggest takeaway is just making sure you're taking the most advantage of the body language that you're getting. And if you're getting the wrong body language at the bill breakdown, you got to take a couple steps back and do what needs to be done again to make sure that they fully understand so you can get that buying sign, that head nod during the bill breakdown.
One clap for Jilson. Let's go Jade. I see your hand up. I can't. Y'all can hear her?
Y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me now? Hello?
Yeah.
Okay. What I got away from it, is I really like the checklist. It kind of like showed like how you can read the room, like and see how you're engaging with the customer. And yeah, I like because like you show you like your credibility and you're not like here to like sell them anything. You're here to like give them a sense of mind, like they're actually signing up for something that's good. So that's what I took away from it.
One clap for Jade. I see Angeles. Am I saying it correct? Angeles?
That's just the email, but it's Angel really.
All right, Angel, I see your hand up.
Yeah, so I'm a little sick, so I sound a little runny, but my biggest takeaway was the verbal signal scan because I feel like even in a shy setting, if you really get that like verbal confirmation and like those signs, someone's like actually being comfortable with you and all that stuff, like it all connects obviously, then you know they're really trying to be invested because sometimes you can get the credibility and you can get all that other stuff. And then I've heard that until the very end is then they shut you down and you're thinking like, oh, wait, I thought everything was good. But I feel like when someone is like verbally confirming out loud, it really like sets the tone that they're like actually invested in what you're saying and listening. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that was like my biggest takeaway in the checklist.
One clap for you, Angel. Rodney, I see your hand up. Let's go.
So my key takeaway was the reading the room. The different buyers respond a different tone. I feel like that was a good one because it kind of broke down like dealing with each customer like accordingly. And I had one question, right? For the knowing when to close. What was the second takeaway? Because I wrote down the first one, but I missed the second.
You said the knowing when to close?
Yeah. Have you answered all the questions? And there was one more.
Have you solved all their problems? And if the answer is yes, it's time to close.
All right.
One clap for you, Rodney. Jarrell.
You can hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so one thing I took from this was the first 7 seconds is very crucial for when identifying your customer. Also, the knocking on the door with the pen. That I'm going to take from it too. That was pretty good.
Jules, one clap for Jarrell. Lewis, let's go, Lewis.
Good morning. I'm sorry, this is Sybil. I just clicked in. Is this for everybody or am I in the wrong group meeting?
This is for everybody. You're in the right group, man.
All right, thank you.
No problem. Let's go, Lou.
So I wanted to say that was a really good impact for us. I had a lot of fun.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
But my biggest takeaway is the two things to consider when we're closing, which is the first thing you said, have you solved all of their problems and are they in yes mode, right? I think that a lot of the time we train a lot to just give the information out, but rarely is it to really educate the customer as far as like the mindset when giving the information. So I think that one of the things we should be doing is, do you have any more questions? Because I'm really big on asking that question right before we hop on TPV, because it's a little question like that that can really make or break the whole sale when you just simply ask, hey, like, you have any more? Let's get it. Let's get everything out the way right now, because once TPV calls, it's showtime. You know what I mean? So, I would definitely say that's one of my biggest takeaways, but it's also just more so like the actual checklist for like the engagement to see what they really process from the information itself. Um, and the who speaks the most versus who makes the decisions, because one thing you said earlier was you could be speaking to the account holder, but if you have the spouse in the background who's kind of just like doing a lot of the talking, you know who's going to ultimately co-sign the sale.
Exactly.
So in that case right there, reading the room looks like you want to make sure that person is more so involved, and you even want to give them a little bit more extra eye contact to let them know, hey, look, like, even though you're not the person who's on the bill, your decision clearly matters and you're addressing that. So it's you actually making sure they feel included, because ultimately that's how you're gonna get the sale. So that's just a really big example of like what reading the room sounds like. But that was my biggest takeaway overall.
One clap for Lou.
Jules.
It doesn't say your name, Zoom user. It doesn't say your name, but I see your hand is up.
Yeah, it's me, Eric Blunt. So my biggest takeaway to me is the body language. Like, body language is key, because like you could like drop a cell not reading the body language and just going in and not looking at their body language, because they could be like this and you'll be like the example you gave when they like this, and that's like a yes customer. Like sometimes you don't read that, you just go in, you'll drop the cell by not just reading the body language. And one more thing I want to add, reading the room. I think that's the biggest one. That's the biggest takeaway, is reading the room, because you got to read the room before you even step in step in the house or anything. As soon as you knock on the door, you got to read it. So me, from the rip, I read body language and I read the room, then I just attack after that.
Choose one clap for him. I think Twan is saying we cutting on time. We're gonna take two more, if that's okay with you, Twan. Two more. Queen Shania. Am I saying it correct? Queen Shania.
It's Shania.
Shania, I'm sorry.
Yes. Okay, so my biggest takeaway is asking questions, because I find myself just rambling and tell them what I know, but like just telling them the information and stuff. I'm not asking any questions. So that's my biggest takeaway.
Juice, one clap for that. Last one. Yeah, can't get to everybody. Let's go. Whoever this is in the chat that says somebody has a takeaway. I don't know how to pronounce the name.
That's me, Anan. I was gonna say one of the biggest takeaways I have is reading. When you walk in and you see little signs like people letting you in the place or having more of a nice attitude towards you, and you don't have to speak that much, and they're the ones asking good questions. That's a great way to see that it's a sale that's worth going through and closing.
Juice, one clap for you, man. William, I'm sorry, but we got to continue to keep having the day going. But go ahead and clap it up for yourself.
Juice.
I'm going to go ahead and pass it back over again. My name is Franz Wilbur. I'm the manager for the Cincinnati, Ohio location. If you have any other questions, please feel free to private message me, and I'll be happy to answer everything. But without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and pass back to Mr. Antoine Smith.
Let's go. Let's clap it up for Franz. Let's clap it up for Franz. Franz, you did an amazing job at presenting. You was quick, bro. You was moving super fast, bro. I was like, whoa, hold on. But then I seen that you had a point. You wanted to get a lot of takeaways at the end. But you did double back. You repeated a lot of the things that you were saying so people can catch that juice, because you was dropping gems left and right. And I love that. The good thing is, guys, this is recorded as well. So once this is done, I have this recording to the cloud. I'll send off to make sure we can update this to our YouTube profile, as well as any other platform that we have, Google or Google Drive as well. So that way we can share this out to you guys. And if you need to reference it, if you missed something, if you need more notes, you need to see what he was talking about or any other presenter, you could jump back in and re-get this juice at any time moving forward. But without further ado, we're going to go ahead and move on to our next presenter. Again, this is Faye out of the Bronx location, our newest Bronx manager, I believe, in our solar division. She has some juice for you, some fire as well. Stay locked in. After her, we will break for lunch. When we come back, Tiff is going to be giving us that bio, and we'll just keep this train going. We'll keep this train going. So without further ado, let's go, Faye. Take it away.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
Hi,
How we
Faye.
feeling, everyone? How we feeling?
Blessed and highly favored.
Fantastic.
Drop the
Terrific.
emoji.
Great.
Terrific.
Hot.
Drop the emoji.
Extra
Justin,
juicy.
terrific, great.
Extra juicy.
We doing good.
Extra
Here we go.
More in the building.
Let's get it. So I'm going to share my screen. I was able to create a mini. Let's go. I was able to create a mini lesson for us. Give me a second. All right. Can we see my screen?
Let's go, Faye.
Let's go.
One clap for Faye.
Appreciate you, Jamal. All right, let's get into it. So today what I'm covering is the 4 types of personalities in direct sales. This is going to give you the ability to identify, approach, and close anyone as long as you use it correctly, right? So now the 4 types of people, right, on territory is basically is going to help you identify and approach everyone. Once this lesson, it was a complete game changer for me, right? And this was because personality types are predictable behaviors and styles that people use to communicate. So the moment that you can analyze what type of personality that person is, you can respond effectively, right? And the way that I was able to utilize it, it helped me communicate more effectively, right? It helped me understand their preferred way of communication. It helped me understand how they react to pressure and how they build trust, right? Once I understood this lesson, I made a lot more money. I was reading people like books. I was doing a lot more research on it. And I'm just really excited to introduce this to you guys. So where does it come from, right? So it actually dates all the way back to 400 BC. But I'm not getting all that far. That's a little too far out for us, right? But there has been research based off of behavioral psychological research that dates back to 400 BC called the 4 temperaments. That's what they called it. Before all the modern researchers, the behavior researchers, the psychologists, right? They studied thousands of people, and what they found was a consistent four attitudes or 4 types of people that kept showing up, which related to the 4 temperaments back in the 400 BC. So now the way that modern researchers were able to research this was through getting these thousands of people, right? And they were trying to figure out how they were based on how fast they act, right? Based on how fast or slow they react to things, or whether they focus on tasks or whether they focus on people, right? And in those studies, what they found was that they found the 4 quadrants. Now, what those 4 quadrants are is, well, first they found those who talk fast, those who move fast at a fast pace, and prioritize tasks are people who end up being a driver, right? And I'll explain who they are as we go, right? People who are fast paced, but are focused on people or are more personable are expressive people, right? People who do tasks very slow, right? but they prioritize the task. They're usually analytical people. And people who are slow pacing, but they are more personable or more people driven, they are amiable, right? And in this research, what they were able to find that every single personality type has a person, whether it's in sales, whether it's in psychology, communication training, management, everyone uses the 4 types of people, right? Now, I'm just going to leave this slide right here so that we can get as much as we can. But as far as it goes, once you fully understand why this is so important, you're going to end up utilizing this in the future, right? I want you guys to use this immediately, right? So just judging by what I've went through, because I can't really see the screen. What can we say we understand about where it comes from? Can we raise our hands? Because I can't really see our screen right now.
Beta has his hand raised, Faye.
All right, Beta, talk to me, Beta.
You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
And the question was, you want to know where it comes from when you talk about the 4 type of people, or?
Yes, where does it come from?
Okay, so it's basically where what I got down here in my notes, and you could correct me if I'm wrong. I'm coachable, but what I got here is that it comes from how people is responding to certain things, right? If they fast responding, those people will understand it more. If they're like people person, that means they'll be like more like open towards the people. So what I got is just come from like the study of people and what people analyze from it, and that's how they put these type of people in that certain type of category.
Juice, thank you, Beta. What kind of Beta? You hit the nail right on the head, my brother. So basically, this is done from research from 400 BC, the 1800s, the 1900s, the early 2000s to right now, right? So all of this research has brought us to these 4 quadrants, which is number 1, our driver, right? So now this guy, this driver, if you can see, right, he's on the wheel, he's taking control, right? What can we analyze just off the picture, right? Who is that driver, right? What type of person is he? Just judging by the picture. And you guys can just unmute. I can't see the screen right now.
Road Ranger.
Road Ranger.
Road Ranger.
He's aggressive for sure.
Come on, G. Come on, G.
Why you knocking on my door right now? That's the type of customer he is. Why you knocking?
Juice, right? Y'all hit the nail right on the head, right?
That wheel.
They got the hand on the wheel. They want to take control at all times, right? So when we're on the territory, we see these types of people, and they're called the driver, right? Now, they're real quick to try to figure out who you are, right? Now, the way that they are, right, they use direct eye contact, right? They're looking at you right dead in your eyes, serious face, not a single smile, right? They have no patience and they don't use fluff. They get straight to the point with what they say, and they don't want you to use fluff either, right? Get to the point energy, right? They want you to get to the point quick. Give me all the details right now, right? And they like to feel in charge, right? They don't like to feel like you're the one that's helping them make a decision. They want to make sure that they're the ones making their final decision. They don't want anyone as a part of it. They're the ones that tell you, my wife doesn't handle everything, or my husband doesn't handle everything. I do everything, right? They're very strong-willed, right? So they give you a lot of objections, right? And they're focused on results, right? So they're the ones that are going to tell you get to the point, but when they mean get to the point, they mean give me the numbers, right? But obviously we're not specialists here. We can't just give people the numbers. So this is what you don't do with these types of people, right? Don't speak slowly, right? Speak fast. Respect their time, right? Show them that you respect their time, but at the same time, what you're doing is that you're allowing yourself to relate to them, right? Because once a person feels like you're relating to them, when something is familiar and you're in a rush too, it makes them more comfortable, right? So Don't go through, second point is don't go through your entire pitch with these types of people. You do not want to go through your entire pitch. Why?
Juice.
Because they want you to get to the point, right? Keep it super simple. Kiss it. Keep it super simple, right? Highlight the main details and close immediately, right? These are the people that you do not want to get into your pitch too often. Where I see is that when we'll come across one of these drivers, right? And I'll feel so bad because I can't really jump in to save the day. But nonetheless, the driver would be like, get to the point, right? And the agent literally starts all the way from the top of the pitch. Hey, my name is John Doe with Empower Solar, right? And the driver is clearly impatient. Their body language is shifting. They don't want to stand there anymore, right? But that's only because we're not keeping it short and simple, right? And they don't like it when people sound unsure or weak. So when you're coming across a driver, make sure that your tonality is very stern. You sound confident. Juice by that?
Juice.
All right. So, and don't ask these people open-ended questions, right? Don't ask them if they're interested. You don't want to ask them if they're interested. They're going to say no, right? You don't want to ask them what time works for you. They're not going to give you a time. They would rather you give them two options so that they feel like they're in control, right? Drivers they absolutely hate inefficiency, and they hate lack of confidence. They hate inefficiency and they hate lack of confidence. So be efficient, get to the point, but get to the point concisely. Make sure that you're highlighting benefits that make sense, connect to their problems. And the biggest mistake that we end up doing is that we end up taking too long explaining why we're there. Get to the point with these people, right? They're very strong-willed. They don't like to waste too much time. Get to the point energy. And when responding to these types of people, well, first things first, they're the types of people that'll say things like, get to the chase, right? Like, hurry up, cut to the chase. They'll say things like, what you need. They'll say things like, what's this about? They'll say things like, I don't got time for this, right? Things in that nature. Now, what we do with those types of people, how we approach them really matters, right? How you respond needs to be quick, it needs to be confident, it needs to be concise, right? Now, what it means to be concise means to keep it super short and simple, but make sure that you're highlighting benefits, right? Keep it concise. Now, match their pace, avoid small talk, and make sure you respect their time, right? Now, matching their pace, they're telling you, I'm in a rush. Well, guess what, mister? I'm in a rush too. I actually have a few other people I have to get to, right? Real quick, you're the homeowner, right? Match their pace. You're in a rush as well, right? Your body language should match as well, right? And at the same time, avoid the small talk, right? They're the people that if you come to the door and you ask them what they're doing, they're going to tell you, what do you want? Don't ask them how they're doing. Don't try to dive a little bit deeper on their day. Get to the point, right? And make sure that you respect their time. So if they tell you, hurry up, and you say, I'll be brief, right? But then you slow down your pace, you're not respecting their time, right? So if they say hurry up and you say I'll be brief, ensure that you're respecting these people's time, make sure that you're respecting these people's energy, right? And match their pace all at the same time, right? Make sure that your tonality is firm and straightforward, right? Can we get an example of how you can sound firm and straightforward?
Let's go, Jamal.
Let's go. I can't see nothing, guys.
I got you. So basically, Faye, I'm gonna make this so fast for you. There's been a lot of pollution in the area. It's causing a lot of sickness here. So because of that, they sent us out here just to make sure you guys are receiving the renewable energy that the zip code was approved for. Just grab your bill so I can look for the symbol on it, and I'll wait for you right here, okay?
Yeah. Okay. That was a phenomenal example of how to handle
Great job, Jamal.
His tonality, confident, concise, straight to the point. That's how you handle these types of people. Great work, Gilson. Is there anyone else that wants to try this out?
Perfect.
Go,
All right.
Phaedra.
So, oh, okay. All right. Wait, who's going? Is it me or someone else?
It's you, Steph. Let's go, Steph.
Go ahead, Steph.
All right, perfect. So just like your
Yes,
neighbors,
Steph.
ma'am, we're just here to verify and make sure that everyone, including yourself, have received clean renewable energy at the price protected rate. So just like your neighbors, go and grab your bill.
Juice fired out. What type of stuff? Juice. Quick, concise.
Very nice, very
straight
nice.
to the point. One more person. Let's get one more person.
Let's get a solar person. Let's get somebody in
Well,
solar.
let's get
Come
solar.
on.
Sybil, I don't
Represent
know
for
how to approach
Faye.
these.
I was trying to raise my hand, but Star will do it. I was trying to raise my hand, y'all. I'm old. I can't find a hand.
Come on, Star.
But hi, my name is Sybil. I'm with Empower Solar. I'm just here to spread the word about the New York Sun program. Have you heard of that?
Ma'am, get to the point.
Okay, well, the New York Sun program is offering homeowners anywhere between $20,000, maybe even more, going towards the solar panels. My job is just to make sure you receive what is called the at no cost to you savings report, and take 2 seconds, grab any old or new copy of your bill, and I'll be right here waiting.
Juice, what type of Sybil?
Let's go, Sybil.
Juice, let's get it. You guys hit the nail right on the head. Firm, tone, confident, concise, right? And I like how you guys use a little bit of body language too with the little shoulder movements, right? Perfect, right? Now, how do you close these types of people? Make sure that you utilize full control, right? You see how every single example, they went straight to the close right after their sentences? Full control of the conversation, right? Make sure that you slow down your body, right? Not your tone, but your body, right? Make sure that you're confident. That's how you portray confident. The moment that you're fidgety and you're moving fast, people already see that and you look uncertain, right? If you look uncertain, they feel uncertain, right? Now, make sure that you acknowledge. Now, very important that we acknowledge these people. What I mean by that is, for example, and feel, felt, found, right? We empathize first, right? We empathize to make sure that they feel like we're on the same page as them or other people on the same page as them, right? Now, we do that part so that it's not an argument, right? Because if we're going back and forth, right? If they give me an objection, then I give them a rebuttal. And they give me an objection, and I'm giving them a rebuttal, right? And I'm not understanding them first. What's happening is that we are arguing, right? We're literally in the middle of an argument. Although we can do it with a smile, although we can go fact for fact, what you're doing is that you're arguing with that person. Make sure that you acknowledge them before you head into any rebuttal, before you head into any close. Hit that acknowledgement button. Juice?
Juice.
All right.
Juice.
All right, Juice. So speed. Make sure that your speed is matching their pace, your speed of voice, right? Y'all heard Gilson's example. Y'all heard Steph's example, right? Y'all heard Sybil's example. Make sure you're fast, but make sure that it's fast enough where people can understand. Make it digestible. It's like putting a hose to someone's ear compared to putting droplets in someone's ear, right? You want to put droplets so that they can digest, so they can understand, right? Now, their ROI, right? Their return on investment. They want you to get to the point. That means that if you're getting to the point, you need to highlight benefits that make sense, right? So any return on investment that they have, that they may receive from ESCO, from solar. I know from solar we do have our 20,000 on average, right? I'm not too sure on ESCO, but 20,000 on average, right? Our free roof repairs, right? Maybe highlight features and benefits just like that. Make sure that it's relevant to the homeowner's case, but always their ROI, their return on investment, right? Now, last but not least, believe you belong there. Before I understood this, right, drivers would walk all over me, right? I would just allow them to because I didn't know how to handle it. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I was just like, okay, this is your home. I'm on your property. I'm out. But once I started to fully understand the driver, right, I was like, okay, so you like to be spoken to in this type of way. You like to be responded to in this type of way. I'm going to give you that. But also within myself, I need to be confident. I belong here. These people are going to test you. They're going to test your patience. They're going to test your braveness, right? But believe within yourself that you belong there. And I promise you, it's a mindset shift, right? Believe you belong there, take confidence to the next level, and believe in yourself. Now, the best closing tactic that I love to utilize is the chicken or fish method with these people, right? Now, I wanted to figure out a way that I can show you guys, but I'm gonna just rip off a pen and paper and I'll just show you guys from here, all right? So, chicken or fish is giving people two options, right? I know some of us use it in ESCO, some of us use it in solar in different ways. Now, I'm just giving you guys a solar example, and you guys can utilize it in your own way. And this will be related to setting a date and time or coming back for a date and time, right? So, chicken or fish, right? Two options, right? Can you guys see that?
You may need to stop sharing your screen real quick.
All right. We back on Zoom. All right. So, all right, guys. So we have chicken or fish, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So homeowner says, or more like you say, okay, so what day works best for you? Today is Monday, right? So I'll probably hit them with the Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, right? So that's three options, right? Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. So what works best for you? Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, right? They'll be like, oh, Tuesday. I'll be like, okay. All right, so Tuesday mornings, afternoons, or evenings. They'll be like, evenings. Evenings works, right? Boom, they pick the evening, right? So now you have the date, now you have the time. Mind you, they still think they're in control because they're picking it. So once they pick Tuesday evening, right, you would have to quickly come up in your mind, okay, so Tuesday at 5 p.m., right? I'll have a specialist come by Tuesday at 5 p.m. All right, I'm just going to call my team, make sure that we have that date and time available for you, so on and so forth, right? But this is how the chicken and fish works. You give them two options or three options. They pick one, right? Once they pick one, you go on to the second option. They pick one, right? And then now you have your date and time. In ESCO, you can utilize this. And once they got the date and time, you connect it with a complete answer, right? And this is how chicken or fish works. Again, guys, try to utilize this as soon as possible, right? Do your research on it, things in that nature. But now I'm going to hop right back into my slides. Actually, before I jump into it, can I hear someone utilize chicken or fish?
I will. Say I'm doing a bill breakdown and they have no renewable resources and they're still getting their electric and gas from fossil fuels and coals, and you're able to point that out to them. You can show them, look, with receiving the fossil fuels and coals, you've been receiving changes in your rates each quarter of the year. With having a renewable resource, this stops and you have that more control and predictability over your bill.
Okay, one clap for her. Juice, why that? Okay, Juice, right? Can we get someone else to try out the chicken and fish method?
I got you. The chicken and fish method.
Juice, let's do it.
All right, so you say which day will work better for you? Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday?
Wednesday's all right.
Wednesday's cool. So mornings, evenings, or afternoon?
I could do the afternoon, man. I get out of work around then.
Okay. Afternoon. All right, so we got the date and the time, right? Then,
all right. So remember, close with confidence, right? So you got the date and time. So perfect. So in this case, in solar, right? Perfect. So I'll have somebody come by Wednesday at 3 p.m. Okay?
I'll do it.
Okay.
All right. One clap for the brother. Let's see, Star.
All right. So what day work best for you? Tuesdays, Wednesdays, or Thursdays?
We could do Tuesday.
That's actually good because you know what? I actually have a consultant available that day. What will work better? Mornings, afternoons, or evenings?
We could do the morning time.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and set you a consultation for 11 a.m. and I will have someone come out and just go ahead and explain exactly what you may need going towards solar and how the numbers may look. But if they don't look good, it's okay to tell them no thank you. But knowledge is key. Have a good day.
Choose one card for civil. Key things
How
she
can you
did,
do this on
right?
the ESCO side, y'all? How can we utilize chicken and fish on the ESCO side?
On
I
the
can try.
ESCO side.
All right. So,
example.
okay.
Just, let's get it.
Bunny Sani.
Let's get it, Isani. Let's get it.
Yes, sir.
No, it's your girl stuff. You do it.
Hello?
Me or stuff?
Go ahead,
it was
E. Go
really
ahead, E.
choppy
I
there.
want to hear you, Isani. Long
It's
time
you,
I hear
Sani.
you.
Yeah, I'm here, but I think
Is it my connection?
Nah, I think E, your connection is spotty.
We can't hear you too much.
Connection messed up, I think. That's why we couldn't hear her.
It's all good. Go ahead, Steph.
Just,
Pinch in,
let's go,
Steph.
Steph.
Pinch in, Steph.
All right. Okay. All right, Miss Burgess. I'm gonna let you slide on this one. All right. So okay, ma'am. So we're only here. We're here today. Okay, got it. So you're saying today does not work. Okay. So tomorrow, right? Tomorrow does work for you, right? Correct? Tuesday?
Tuesday?
Yes?
Yep.
Tuesday. You said
works.
Tuesday, right? Tuesday works. Okay. What time Tuesday? Evenings, mornings, afternoons?
We could do the afternoon.
Afternoon? All right. Afternoon around what? 12, 1 o'clock, 12:30, what?
We could do 12:30.
12:30. Perfect. I'm putting it down into the system right now, and we will be back here at 12:30. Just make sure you have all of your all of the things that we need to move forward. And I'll see you then. All right. Perfect.
Juice. One time for Steph. Just some feedback for you, Steph. In the beginning, be more directive, right? With it, right?
More directive?
Yeah, be a little bit more direct. Instead of saying, well, can we come back for Tuesday, right? With the question mark, say Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, or say Tuesday or Wednesday, right?
Juice.
Instead of it making
I'll give it a
with a
try.
question mark. Yes, talk to me. Talk to me.
All right,
Last one.
All right, so I just
wait.
knocked on your
Jonathan's
door,
hand is up.
right? I just knocked on your door. Boom, boom, boom. All right, so you saying 9:30 right now is actually too early for you? So
Yeah, it's
right
way too
now,
early.
I understand because listen, I ain't even had my coffee yet, so I get you. So I got right now. You seem like an evening person, so we got 1 o'clock available. We got 2:30. We got 5 o'clock. I can make you my last customer at 5 o'clock, but you seem like you're more of an evening person. Which one are you? Like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, or like 5 o'clock for you?
I'm like 2 p.m.
2 p.m. Oh, that's perfect. 'Cause I was actually about to come back to your neighbor around like 1:50, so I'm gonna come back to you at 2 o'clock. So at 2 o'clock today, I'm gonna see if I could come back. You're gonna have everything ready for you, right? The electric and the gas bill.
Yeah, I'm gonna have everything ready.
Okay, I see it right there, but you said it's too early for you. So okay, I'm actually gonna mark your name down right now. Come back around 2 o'clock for you, and yeah, that's pretty much nice and easy. I'll see you then. Okay.
Juice. 1 clap for Beta Bay.
Yeah.
Juice. 1 clap. Beta. Just some feedback for you, right? Just remember, be confident, right? Say it as if it's a directive. You're going to, right? And you're going to have the bill ready when I come back, right? Be a little bit more confident while you're saying it. And I like how you made it the ESCO way, right? You're going to come back today, right? Since 9:30 is too early, right? For my ESCO people, that'll be the best way you can utilize it. There's other ways you can utilize it. It doesn't only have to be calendar based, right? It doesn't have to be appointment based, comeback based, right? But Beta Bay, I like how you switched it up. Just remember, be more directive about it, right?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Know they're going to get the bill for you when you get back. You know they're going to open the door. You know everything already, right? Assume it. Juice?
No. Juice.
Juice. All right, let's move on to the next expression, right, guys? Remember, the driver is going to test your patience. They're going to try to scare you away, and all you need to do is remain in control. Now we have the expressive person, right? So the expressive person is someone who is fun, right? Those are the people that when they open the door, they come in with a smile, right? They come in with a big smile on their face, right? They're accepting you, they're receiving you, they talk a lot, right? They talk so much though, to the point that you'll probably end up losing track of your business, literally, right? These people will literally get you to lose track. You're going to have all types of conversations about their kids, their dogs, their house, their roof, their windows, everything, right? And it's so hard to get back in place with these people. They're very friendly, right? They're very animated too. They use their hands a lot. They're happy expressions, right? They smile easy. You throw a little joke, they smile back, right? Very enthusiastic, probably music playing in the background, very hype, right? And they have the energy of being excited for new possibilities. You can just tell it's radiating off these people. These people are commonly like your yes customers, right? The driver is more like a no customer. The expressive is more like one of those yes customers, right? But you still need to know how to handle them. Now, what not to do with an expressive person: don't be monotone and don't be boring. Can we get one example of someone being monotone, right? Let's get one example of someone being monotone and boring. Let's get it, my brother.
How you doing? My name is Eric. I'm here today. Like that.
Like just like that. What kind of Eric? Dad, you don't feel like you even want to be there. No one came to your bed and told you, hey, come to work, right? So with that being said, what's an example of you being motivated? What's an example of you being high energy? Let's get one example, one good example.
Not speak.
Juice, let's get an Angel.
Let me lock in real quick. Hey, I'm Angel with Empower. How you doing? How you doing? Like, you doing good?
Yeah, I'm good. One clap for
Yeah.
Angel. Y'all hit the nail right on the head, right? Y'all see the differences, right? Very big differences in energy, even approach, right? Imagine someone coming to your door. Imagine you're coming to your door, right? And you have music blasting in the background. You're hype. You got Michael Jackson playing. You just ate breakfast, right? Someone comes to your door and they're like, hey, my name is Faye. I'm with Empower Solar. I just came to the area to inform homeowners. Like, it is so boring. They're going to want to close the door, right? Not even because you're at their door trying to sell them or trying to give them an offer, right? It's just because your energy isn't even where they're at. So what you should do, right? Remember, expressive people are already halfway there. You have them where you need to have them, right? Because in sales is a transfer of energy, right? If they're high energy already, right? You can utilize that high energy to close. Now, also, don't overload these types of people with technical details, right? You don't want to overload them with technical details. You don't want to tell them too much on the technicalities, how it works, right? They're not even asking you. Don't jump into it, right? They're telling you about their livelihood. So connect with them, right? Do not shut down their excitement, right? If they're super excited about whatever they're excited about, remain excited. Match that energy. You smile. Don't be creepy about the smile, but you smile and you're happy about it, right? Match their energy. Now, don't rush right into the numbers. You do not want to rush into the numbers. These people are not numbers people. They probably can care less. They probably can care less up until the closer gets there, right? Right now, they made a friend. So with that being said, right, don't rush into the numbers for my ESCO people, right? I know you guys can tell them like a little bit of the rate right then and there. Don't tell them that immediately, right? Connect with them, vibe with them, right? Because you're a person too. And don't ignore the rapport. I know sometimes we get a little anxious, especially people that are new. We get a little anxious when someone comes to the door and they're like, hey, how you doing today? And we're just straight to business, right? If they're asking you how you doing today, I'm telling you, take that and run with it. Take that and run with it. Ask them how they're doing, ask them about their dog that approached the door, a painting that's in their home, the frame of their doorway. Talk to them, right? Get to know them, build rapport with them. They need that in order to close. Now, expressive people hate dull conversations, right? So that means that make sure that your body language is up to par, right? Make sure you're moving, you're excited. Make sure that your facial expression is also mirroring that excitement, right? And also ensure that the topic of the conversation is also exciting, right? Now they hate cold conversations as well, right? Conversations that are straight to business. Again, build rapport with them, understand them, build some type of connection, connect with their kids, their heritage, anything. And the biggest mistake that people do with these people, with the expressive people, is being robotic or too serious. I'm telling you guys, have fun. Please have fun. This is a really, really fun opportunity, right? You get to have fun. You're on the territory. You're killing it, making money, right? Have fun. If these people are coming to you and you've already dealt with like 5 drivers, utilize it to help your energy go higher, utilize it to help your mood, utilize it to even push for a sale, but utilize these people, their energy, to your advantage, right? Now, how you respond to expressive people, well, first things first, before I get into that, they'll say things like, how was your day? They'll say things like, tell me more, that's interested, or what are the next steps, right? These are the types of people that will say things like this. They're really open to what you're saying, really open to what you're doing. Now, how you approach expressive people, right? You have to match their energy, right? Because remember, guys, sales is a transfer of energy, right? As I mentioned before. So if they're already excited, utilize that excitement immediately, right? Match their energy, transfer the energy right back into your product, right? And be fun, warm, and enthusiastic while doing it. Be fun, warm, and enthusiastic, because that's what they feed off of. Use stories and examples. Now, this is because expressive people are naturally pulled in by the Jones effect. They love what other people are doing. So use stories, use success stories, their neighbor stories, their next building stories, right? If you have a bill, maybe a bill before and after bill, utilize that, right? It's going to, or for my solar people, if you have an installation nearby, point at it, right? Use the Jones effect immediately, because that's what they use for the buy-in. Now, also acknowledge their excitement, right? Don't say, hey, you're excited, but match that. Your eyebrows, your eyes, your energy. Match it, match it, match it. I cannot say it enough. Make sure that you match their energy, because if you don't, they're not going to be inclined to remain at the door with you, right? They're going to think that you're boring, that you're dull, and they'll shut the door right in your face. So also remember, your tone should be upbeat, right? Make sure that you are highly energized as well. And make sure that your body, right? Make sure that your facial expression has a big smile, right? The C principle, and have open hands and open body postures, right? This will allow you to open them in, right? If you're open, they're open, right? If you smile, they smile. Now, how to close these types of people is that you utilize their vision, right? Or yes, you can utilize their vision. Now, what I mean by that is you can, with these types of people, with expressive people, you can assume the sale. You can create a vision for them and assume the sale. So when the specialist comes by, they're going to let you know everything that goes on in regard to all the benefits and features that you're going to receive, right? I'm telling them that the specialist is going to be there, that they're going to be excited. The specialist is going to give them what they need, right? I'm already assuming the sale and I'm creating that vision. When the specialist comes by, they're going to show you what the solar looks like. They're going to break down everything you qualify for. They're going to show you before and after bill. It's all going to be beneficial for you and your family, right? I give them the vision, right? Now, excitement, right? I use their excitement already. So if they're already where you want them to be, utilize it, right? Utilize it. If they're happy, utilize that happiness and smile your way into a close, right? Build a rapport your way into a close, but don't get lost in rapport building with these types of people. They will talk your ear off, right? You'll ask them about their son or daughter, and they'll be like, Yeah, I got 3 sons, 16 grandchildren. One is in North Carolina, one's in Florida, one's in Africa. We're all like, they're going to tell you everything, right? Dive into it, but ask a question midway to bring it back to the topic, right? I think Sonny said this before, right? To ask a question to bring it back into the topic, right? So a question like, so how long you lived here, right? So a question about the house, right? Or something pertaining to the roof for my solar people. So how old is your roof, right? Ask a question to bring you back on track, but you need to remember to do that, right? Because if you're naturally expressive and they're naturally expressive, then that energy is going to collide. Now, the closing tactic for this is using fear of loss, assume the sale, and close confidently because you're going to close them, right? Fear of loss, as in people don't want to be missing out, right? The fear of missing out, FOMO even, right? It's connected to the Jones effect because other people are doing it and they don't want to miss out on it. So utilize fear of loss, assume the sale when the specialist comes by, when you get solar, when you go with clean energy, and also close confidently. You know what you're talking about. You know what you're closing. You know that it's beneficial for them, right? Close confidently because they're open with you. Now, they're the easiest people to close, right? Just stay on track, respond effectively, and close every single time. ABC, always be closing, right? And what you'll find out is that if this expressive person is a liar or a buyer at the same time, because these people try to trick you too, you'll really believe that you're about to close them, right? But then at the end, they'll be like, nah, I'm good, with a big smile on their face, right? Keep closing them, right? So you can identify whether or not they are a liar or they are a buyer immediately. Now, that is for my expressive people. Now, we're going to dive a little bit deeper into our analytical, right? So, analytical people are detail-oriented, right? They ask technical questions, right? And the thing about the technical questions is that they'll probably already know the answer to the technical questions, right? They'll ask just to see if you know what you're talking about or just to see if you're legit. Dead serious. I had someone ask me a question one day. It was oddly specific, so I knew he knew what he was talking about. He was like, how long is a net metering program? How would you know what that is if you didn't know how long it is? But I told him the answer to it, right? But as soon as I answered it, he nodded and he went to go get his Con Edison bill, right? So people that are technical, right? People that are analytical love technical questions, right? They prefer proof, not hype. They don't want you hyping up ESCO. They don't want you hyping up solar. They want you to show them the numbers, right? Show them proof. Show them a before and after Con Edison bill or a before and after utility statement, right? Show them the solar in the area, right? Don't just hype it up. Show them that it's there, right? There are people that are detail driven, right? They want to make sure that they're making the right decision, so they're cautious. Now, because they're cautious, this makes them slower to commit, right? Those are the people that are asking continuous technical questions and you're continuously answering them, maybe an objection, and then you answer it, but then they'll give you another technical question, right? Very slow to commit, and they're also reserved, right? They're the homeowners that are giving you probably short answers, but they're not being aggressive with it. They're just giving you short answers, right? Because they're not too social, right? They're not too sociable. They probably play video games most of their lives, right? And they value logic, right? So with these types of people, make sure that you know your product. Know your product, whether it is the inverters and solar and the way solar works, or how there's different ESCO companies and how our rate is different than other rates. They value logic, right? And make sure that you focus on facts and proof, facts and details, right? Don't give them anything emotional. Don't try to connect any feeling to what they're saying because they don't care about feelings. They care about plain facts, right? Now, what you don't do with these people is that you do not pressure them. You don't pressure them to close. You don't pressure them for the next steps. You let them think about it, right? You don't exaggerate the hype. You don't be like, oh, solar's popping, everyone's doing it, or ESCO is popping, everyone's saving the planet, right? Don't exaggerate the hype. Exaggerate the facts, right? Exaggerate the benefits. Exaggerate the features, right? And don't avoid their questions. I know sometimes we don't we don't fully know our product, right? If you're new, you probably don't fully know your product. And if you've been here for a while, you should know your product. But be able to answer the questions. And if you don't know your product, right? If you're just getting to know your product, just call your manager, right? Call your leader, call someone to help you answer the question effectively. I have done it before when I didn't know the answer to something. I'm like, give me 1 second. Let me call my manager. Mind you, it's probably my leader on the field, right? I'm just calling my manager, trying to figure out like what's going on, right? Like, is it how does the net metering program work, right? I'll let them know like, hey, I have this gentleman right here. He's asking a little bit more details that usually a supervisor will let him know. So I'm just gonna pass you the phone over to him. He's asking you whatever, and I'll let them speak with the leader or the manager, right? What this does is that you're letting them know you're not avoiding their questions, right? You're letting them know that you are focused on their facts. You want to let them know that you're knowledgeable, and even if you can't answer the question, they can find the answer somewhere, right? Now, they don't like vague answers. So if you're going to give them an answer that's technical, make sure that you're going in detail. Go into depth, right? Go into depth on our rates. Go into depth on how going with ESCO is going to save the planet, right? Go into depth as to how solar works or how offset works, right? And analytical people hate uncertainty, right? They hate it when someone is giving them uncertain answers. I don't know, but I think they hate that, right? And they hate emotional selling. They don't like when people try to sell them based off of emotions or happy emotions, sad emotions, doubts. They don't really mess with it. So make sure that you're coming with them with logic, with facts, details, and know your product. And the biggest mistake that we do is that we try to get them to trust what we say without showing them proof, right? We try to get them to trust what they say. We're like, trust me, right? But we're not showing them proof. They need the proof, right? They need to see the value. They need to see the logic behind it, right? Now, the questions that they usually have is, do you have documentation? How does this work? What's the exact cost, right? They're trying to ask you, what's the exact cost of their solar installation while you're at their door, right? Or they try to ask you what their exact cost right before you close them in ESCO, right? Those are the people that look into the details, right? They'll be like, okay, I'll look into the details, or I'll look up your company, I'll call you back, right? They want to make sure that they're certain before they make a decision. Now, how you approach an analytical person is through making sure that you stay calm, make sure that you stay structured, and make sure that you stay factual. People love the facts. So I say that to say, right, don't have super big emotions, right? Don't have a super big smile, right? Don't be bouncing off the walls, super excited. Be calm, right? Be steady. They like calm and steady. Once you over exaggerate, it's skeptical, they're not comfortable, you're not matching their tone, they're not matching their pace. Match their pace. If they're calm and concise, you're calm and if you're calm, yeah, they're calm and concise, you're calm and concise, right? Don't pressure them into making any decisions. Don't pressure them to close, right? So if they say, I got to think about it, don't be like, well, I'm only here for today and tomorrow, right? If they tell you I got to think about it, figure out, obviously, you didn't answer something that made them see the value for them to push forward right now, right? So now start probing, right? Don't pressure, probe, right? Try to figure out what's going on and be logical all at the same token, right? Know what you're talking about. What I learned, the best thing that I could have done with myself was sit back and go through the Solar Bible and understand my product. The absolute best thing I could have done with myself. Why? Because now every single time anyone asks me a question, whether they're analytical, they're a driver, they're amiable, or they're expressive, I always had an answer for it. And I was logical with it too. Because I did research. I was looking at the Empower Solar Bible. I was doing research on Google, ChatGPT, all types of research. It didn't just stop at the paper, right? Now, give clear step-by-step explanations as well. Just get to the point with these people in terms of what the next steps will be, right? They love the details. They love the understanding, the whole process, right? And their body language, make sure, because they want to make sure that you're certain, you can show certainty, right? To show certainty is to stand tall, right? shoulders, foot width apart, right? Chest up, chin up. You know what you're talking about. You are confident, you are certain. Now, what you utilize in order to close them is clarity, right? Ensure that you know what you're saying is digestible, right? Because one thing for sure is that I noticed that once I knew my product, I was super excited to get it out there. Like a homeowner would ask me a question, and I would literally like go all out, right? I would be like, if they ask me about offset, I'll get into offset and get into net metering, then get into their installation, right? And I'll do it everything in such a fast pace that it wasn't digestible for them, and they didn't fully understand my message, right? So what I understood was that you don't want to be the fire hose, right? Shooting water into their ear. You want to be the droplet. You want to just let it be digestible. You want to make sure that they fully understand what you're saying. Use every single detail and know your product. The best thing you could do, whether it's to handle an analytical person, a driver, an expressive person, or an amiable person, being knowledgeable in your product is going to help you in every which way, right? Now, safety. Make sure that with these types of people that you are creating safety. The way that you create safety is by being credible, right? So by being credible is, I'm not gonna lie, as soon as you come to the door, hey, my name is Family Empower Solar. I've been assigned to the zip code to speak to homeowners to inform them about right? Show your credibility, show your ID even, but don't try to like show your ID immediately. I would say 1 in 1,000 people will ask you for your ID, right? But nonetheless, be credible immediately to build the safety and to build the trust with these types of people because they're already usually skeptical. Now, proof. Utilize any props given, right, to show change. So again, a before or after bill, right, to show change. If you can show maybe how dirty energy is affecting the air that we breathe, you can show that, walk around maybe with something like that. They like things like that. They like it when you feed information to them. Very, very open-minded to information. Now, they do not react emotionally. Remember that when you're closing them. They hate emotional closes. They hate when you're trying to put too much excitement. They want you to get straight to the numbers, straight to the facts. They react when numbers and facts and processes are clear. So with that being said, do your research, know what you're talking about, know your product, but also utilize feel, felt, found. I understand how you feel. A lot of homeowners felt the same exact way until they found that through Empower Solar, they were able to save a lot of money, right? Utilize feel, felt, found, but also provide that product knowledge. Do not skip to provide them the product knowledge. If you have to call someone, right? And what's that's going to do is that if you call someone and they give you the answer, now you know how to respond every single time, right? Put that ego aside, put the pride aside, and get some help from other people that know what they're talking about. But at the same token, so you don't have to look for help, do your own research and understand what you're selling, right? And this is how you close an analytical person.
Yes.
Make sure you give them the product, right? Give them the details, right? So whether it's ESCO with dirty energy or solar with an installation, right? You give them that detail and you close immediately. Because what's going to happen is that they're going to give you another one. They're going to be like, oh, but boom, right? Now you got to feel, felt, found, close, right? But guess what? They're going to give you another one. Make sure that you close immediately every single time because these people always got something. They always got a question to ask. Juice by that?
Juice.
Juice. Alrighty. So real quick, can we get someone to reenact Juicy fruit? Nice. Let's get someone to reenact how we respond to someone who is analytical, right? I'll play the homeowner, right? Someone just raise your hand real quick just so I could see. I can't really see. But someone raise your hand. Someone plays the setter or the agent, and I'll play the homeowner. And I'll ask just technical questions, right? And I just want to see how we react, how we close.
I'll do it, Seisha.
Alrighty, let's get into it. So, Sybil, how does solar work?
Well, solar, what you mean, like, okay, first, before we start, do you want me to explain, like, the offset and all of that?
Juice. So let's get into offset then, right? How does offset work?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking you. I'm still learning.
Okay. How does
with you.
work?
I'll go with you, Faye.
Alrighty, Antoine. Let's go, Antoine. All right, Antoine. So how does this work? How does renewable energy work?
Oh man, Faye, renewable energy is super simple. Basically, we're here for solar, so that just means that the sun comes up every day. We give you a product, what's called a solar panel. That panel just receives that energy from the sun, whether it's thermal or light energy, and it just converts that into usable energy for the home. Right?
Okay,
Next
but
thing,
how does your program work?
the program, super simple as well. All that means is we're going to literally just talk to you about how your energy or how your home uses energy. From there, we're going to take the process from your bill to see how many panels you may need to cover that energy's usage. We'll offer you any programs and assistance that we have here for the state of New York, and then we'll move on to the end to see what that price would look like for you and how much you'll save by switching to solar energy versus your traditional power.
Juice, what clap for the brother? Wow. Yes.
Yeah,
okay,
Antoine.
You hit the nail right on the head, my brother. So you see how he was detailed, calm when he was giving the information, right? He was confident while he was giving the information as well. Just remember, right? In that situation, you see how he responded? Close immediately. I kid you not, close immediately or ask if they have any more questions, right? Ask if they have any more questions or close, right? Because what's going to happen is that they're going to have another question. But just like how Antoine was able to respond confidently, calmly, concisely, not an overload, but detail oriented as well. Right. And that's how we respond to analytical people. Now let's go on to our amiable. Now, amiable people usually get mistaken for expressive, but these people usually have a really sweet personality, soft-spoken people, super calm, chillaxed. You probably catch them sitting on their porch, maybe drinking a lemonade while they're enjoying the sunset on a summertime. They're the types of people that value trust, right? They love trust. They love non-confrontation. They do not like to be they do not like to be confrontational at all, right? And these people want to be liked. They're people pleasers. They want to make sure that they're liked by everyone. So even if you come to the door, they'll show you that they want to be liked by you. These types of people will avoid conflict, and they'll usually cooperate with what you're saying or what you're doing. What we don't do with amiable people is that we do not be aggressive, right? We're not aggressive and we're not pushy. Think of these people like a baby, right? They're really soft. You can't really talk to them with too much bass in your voice. You have to be a little bit more soft-spoken. Sometimes, like, you'll probably have to, like, bring your body down, bring your tone just a little bit down, like you're talking to an older person, right? Let's see how anyone talks to an older person, right? When someone is, like, 75 years old and they're coming up to the door, right? How do we respond to them?
Let's go, Jamal.
So number one, the first thing I'm doing, I'm at least showing my hands. I gotta show that my hands is visible. I want you to know that I'm not a threat, and I want to come off very approachable, right? So I'm showing my hands. I have a smile on my face, as well as also I'm showing my badge too as well. I say that's like the first intro, a few seconds.
Talk to him, Ma.
Juice. Just like that. Palms up. That's my favorite thing too. Palms up, right? Palms up. Show that you're safe. Show you have nothing in your hands. Big smile on your face. Maybe show a little bit of credibility with the older folk, right? That's how you usually respond to an amiable person. But how about tonality, right? What type of tonality do you use when you're speaking to these types of people?
Soft.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Very polite.
I might slow it down. Slow it real low, slow. Hello.
Slow down.
More sweet talking them.
Yeah, you gotta speak to them like grandpa and grandma.
Like babies. You gotta handle the elderly like babies.
Word up.
Juice, all of that. One clap for all of us. That hit the nail right on the head together, right? We handle them like babies, like old people, right? We need to bring ourselves down, our bodies down. We talk to them a little bit like this, a little calm tonality, a little friendly. Maybe you even talk with a little bit of a smile just so that they can hear that you're talking with a smile, right? But these people love softness, but they hate being aggressive. They hate people that are rushy, pushy. So don't rush them. Don't push them to a close, right? Speak to them, match their energy. Now, they don't like to feel dumb for asking questions. So they'll probably ask a question or two. Maybe you said something, right? And they ask the question based off of that thing that you just said. Don't make them feel dumb if they ask you the question again. Just give them the answer, right? Don't make them feel stupid. Amiables don't like pressure at all. So the biggest mistake that we do is that we force a fast close. Literally, what I do with amiable people, I pull up a chair in the summertime. I'll literally pull up a chair on their porch, take a seat, like, hey, take a seat real quick. Or I'll be like, hey, can I take a seat right there? And they'll take a seat right with me. Right? I'm super chillax. I'll lean on the door if they're leaning on the door. There are people that they love when you mirror them, right? Because when you mirror them, what you're doing is that you're building trust, right? Mirror their voice, mirror their tone, mirror their body language, mirror everything about them if you can. Mirror if they're sitting on the chair, ask for a seat right next to them. Now, they're the type of people, they're not going to tell you no. They don't want to tell you no because they want to be liked so bad. So they'll tell you things like, I'm not sure. I'll think about it. I'll talk to my spouse. We'll look into it. Or I don't want to make a mistake. Those are those types of people, right? Very soft, very unfortunately pushoverish kind of people. Sometimes they won't let you push over them though, because then you got the I'm not sure. So how you respond to an amiable person is make sure that you're warm, make sure that you're patient, and make sure that you are trusting, right? Be warm with them. As we said, exactly how we speak to older people, right? Or speak to a baby, soft voice, very palms up, lower yourself, especially if you're tall, lower yourself. I'm like 5 feet tall. I still lower myself, right? Smile genuinely, right? No pressure. Give them no pressure. Just allow them to go with the flow of what you're saying.
And speak very clearly. Speak clear.
Yes, definitely. Thank you, Sybil. Right? Speak very, very clearly with these people. Slowly. Make everything digestible. Show a lot of empathy with them, right? Show them that you care about them. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care, but especially an amiable person. Especially an amiable person. So, yes.
Is it safe to say that we can kind of like talk to them as if we're like an elementary school teacher or something? Like kindergarten teacher?
Yes, that is safe to say. Yes, that is. But be careful because you don't want to disrespect someone like. So you don't want to talk to a grown man like if you were an elementary school teacher. But
no, I mean like the calmness of an elementary school teacher.
Oh, okay. Yes, the calmness of it. Yeah, exactly. Actually, yes, exactly that. The calmness of it, right? Maybe even think like nursing home, right? The calmness of treating someone that like of that nature, right? Just super calm, like baby like. So yeah, almost like if you're a teacher to student, just don't make them feel stupid. Now, excuse my language out there. Yes.
Hey, can I say one thing?
Yes.
You know something else I learned too with older people. It's not even about communication. It's about they want to see how you're going to handle them on a one-on-one basis. For example, I deal with a lot of old people coming in the home with groceries or walking on a walker and can't make it up the steps. So what I do is I grab their hand. I'm not pitching you at the moment. I'm going to grab your hand. I'm going to make sure you get up the steps. I'm going to make sure you get in the door. And hi,
Juice.
My name is Sybil.
Juice.
Love it.
Juice. Just like that.
Very good.
Love that, right? These people absolutely love that. Thank you for that, Sybil. They enjoy it when you do this, right? So help them up with their groceries. What you're doing is that you're building instant trust. They need trust in order to close. They need to feel safe in order to close. It's like walking a kid to a store. They need to feel safe, right? Show empathy and slow down your pacing, right? So as Sybil said earlier, right, when you're speaking to them, don't speak fast, speak slow. Speak to where they understand. Maybe you have to repeat yourself, right? But speak to where they understand. Now, excuse that. Now, your tone, right? Make sure that your tone is super soft, right? Super warm, welcoming. As my brother mentioned, he said, as if you're a teacher speaking to a student, that type of warmness, right? You want to make sure that they're safe with you, safe with proceeding with you. Your body language, make sure that it is open, like Jamal said, palms up, right? Palms up, lower yourself down, your posture, super calm smile, right? Don't give him a Joker smile, super calm, gentle smile, because you don't want to portray too much excitement. Now, in order to close these people, make sure that you utilize rapport building, make sure that you utilize reassurance, and make sure you utilize social proof. Because just like an expressive person, there are people who rely on what other people are doing in order to build trust. So, oh, I just actually just signed up your neighbor John, right? You know John? Yeah, I do know John. I just spoke to him. We chopped it up. He told me a little bit about you, right? Social proof, they need that to feel like you're actually going to help them. Now, the closing tactic that you need to utilize is making sure that they feel safe. Utilize feel, felt, found to your full capacity, especially the feel and the felt part, right? Make sure that the feel part, so make sure that they feel understood and you're empathizing with them, right? And the felt part is the Jones effect, right? So a lot of your neighbors felt the same way, or John felt the same exact way, right? Is going to give you the social proof and empathy that you need in order to close them super effectively. So with these amiable people, feel, felt, found, it is the best way to handle an objection or handle a comeback later that they tell you, I understand how you feel. John told me to come back later today and John told me to come back later on today. He felt that although that Trump removed all the main ITC tax credit, that there's not many incentives available. So he found that through Empower Solar, he was able to still receive around $20,000 on average to go towards solar. But I'm not here to sign you up for anything. There's no obligation into what I'm doing. All I'm doing is helping homeowners in this area receive everything that they're entitled to. So nonetheless, right, I have a specialist coming by Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. What day works best? Tuesday or Wednesday? Oh, right? I would have got him right then and there. But you need to make sure that you utilize the feel, felt, found and use the words like help and no obligation. They need to understand that you're there to help them, and they need to understand that they're not getting locked into something crazy, right? There's no obligation and you're there to help. That reduces the pressure 100%, right? You don't want to push these people into a close too quickly. Now, that is basically all four personalities, right? Now, what you'll find is that the driver is like your no customer. The expressive is like your yes customer. And then you have the other two that are like a mix of each one. Now that you understand how the four personalities work, now let's identify in record time how you can, let's find out how you can utilize or find out who they are in record time, right? Now, first thing you need to do when you're speaking to them, right? From the moment, right? They've come up to the door, their tone of voice, how they speak is going to tell you their personality, right? So real quick, can I get someone give me an example of how someone as a driver would tonality would be?
Yo, why did you knock on my door?
Juice, one clap for Gilson. Bah, right? All right, now let's get an example of how someone who's expressive would how their tonality would be.
Hi, how are you? Come inside.
Ooh, the come inside. One clap for Beta. Ah, right?
Don't mind
All right,
about
now how would someone who is analytical, how would their tone be?
Yeah, but how do I know that I'm gonna be getting clean energy?
Juice, one clap for Gilson.
Juice.
Is this free?
Oh, dude, one clap for Jamal. Wow.
Is this free?
Right. Now, how is
Love
someone
it.
who is amiable? How would they sound? How would they speak?
Let's go, Jasmine.
Hello? Yeah. How would they speak, guys? How would someone who is amiable speak?
Jasmine.
Come on, Michael
How can I
Styles. I
help
see you
you
on my
today,
screen. How
baby?
someone who's amiable speak?
How can I help you today, baby?
How can I help you today? Right?
Antoine, really?
Right? Just like that, Antoine. Just like that. How can I help you today, man? Right? So now you need to listen to the tonality, right? Every single tonality that you guys utilized was different. From the driver to the expressive to the analytical to the amiable. Now watch their body language. Remember, the body always speaks before words. So if someone's like this, let's give an example, right? Not someone that's not Gilson. I think Gilson is a driver in real life, right? Someone that's not Gilson, what is a body language that someone that is a driver may utilize?
Either shaking their head,
Talk to me, Chris.
either shaking their head no, or just having a skeptical look on their face.
Let's go, Chris.
Juice, right?
Arms folded. Arms folded.
Yeah.
I feel like they would say stuff like, "How long is this gonna take?" Stuff like that. Like they rushing you.
Yes, they will say how long is this gonna take, but their body
It's all
language
balled
would be, their body language would be like a no. They'll be shaking
They
their
be
head
at the
no.
door. They
They'll
be
be
at the door with
leaning.
their dog. They be
Yeah,
at the
they'll
door
be
with the
leaning
dog.
like they're really not interested in what you're saying.
Yes,
Another
like
big
they're
one too
literally
is the
nodding their head.
face.
You
Face.
say, "Hey,
The
how you
face.
doing?" And they're like, "Get to the point." They're literally closing the door as
Oh,
as you're talking. They got the furrowed eyebrows, arms crossed, right? That is a driver based off body language. Now, how is someone who is expressive express body language?
They're excited. They're smiling. They're engaging in your conversation. They may even tell you to come inside, but they're like their body language will lean more towards you.
They got their door wide open. You know how they stand on the door, the door open?
Yeah,
Yeah.
or they'll start doing the Jones effect to you, like, oh, I do see the neighbors over there talking like you.
That's a good
One that I like is when they come all the way out of their house and close the door so that it's just you and them engaging in the conversation.
Now, Chris, to your point, when they grab the coat from inside too, oh man, they grab the coat from inside. They're like, hold on.
So
All of
they
those,
might
right? Those are those expressive people inviting you inside. They want to know how you
they might
are.
offer you some water or something.
Yes, that's all I'm about to say. It gets
Offering
so
you
good. They be
water.
like, y'all thirsty?
All of that, right? So nonetheless, that's the body language, right? And obviously someone who's analytical, they'll probably be a little bit more closed off. And someone who's amiable will probably be like halfway at the door, halfway not, giving you like confused eyebrows, right? That's how we look at their body. Now, their pace, right? What is someone's pace would be when someone's a driver?
Normally fast paced.
Quick.
Get to the
In a
point.
rush.
In a rush.
Get to the point. Get to the point. Hurry up. They're probably moving quick too with their body, right?
Yeah.
Match that pace. How about
Using their
someone who is amiable, right? What would their pace be?
Slow. Steady.
Slow.
Calm.
Calm, steady.
They probably got
Right.
their arm on the door like this. They lean.
They like pull their glasses down. They start looking at your badge. Like, let's see.
Yeah, look,
They
they got
going
their
under
arm
the
like
speed
this.
limit. Under the speed limit.
They do because they want to take a picture of the
they got
bag.
the
That's true.
you
When
can
you
smell
show
the
them
incense
your
still
badge,
burning
Like
in the
verbally
house.
grab it and
expressive,
look
but the
at it.
body language is shy.
Juice, right? Now, how about our expressive people?
They always
Right? How would their pace be?
They keep it up with you.
Yeah, they move. It's like a monkey see, monkey do. They move the as fast as you move.
They got all the time in the world. Like they could just stand there and just talk your head off.
But you gotta be confident with that when you talk to them. You gotta be
I
confident.
feel like they're more animated.
Juice. Y'all hitting the nail right on the head, right? They're animated. They're matching your pace. Even they got time. They got time for days, right? They're probably on a vacation right now, right? They're chilling on their porch, leaning on the door, ready to take whatever you're offering them, right? Match their pace 100%. Match everyone's pace, right? But make sure that you look at their pace. Now, their facial expression, right? I'm gonna give us the answer for this one. For someone who's a driver, it's usually furrowed eyebrows, arms across, right? I mean, furrowed eyebrows, probably a frown, looking sideways, head tilted. Someone who is expressive, they probably got a smile when they first come to the door. Yo, y'all ever had those people that come to the door with a smile? I'd be so happy. I get excited.
Me too, because it sets the tone for the next person. I love
Beta,
it.
not like that, Beta.
It sets the tone for your next homeowner. If someone comes to the door with a smile, it makes your PMA go back up if it was down.
Utilize that energy. Utilize that energy. Utilize the excitement. All of that. Right now, when it comes to someone who is analytical, right, their facial expression would probably be a little bit confused, or they're trying to figure you out. They're trying to figure out what you're doing, why you're there, right? They were confused even.
So they're more unpredictable.
Yeah, exactly, right? And then someone who is amiable, their facial expression would probably be more on the calmer side, really calm, relaxed, eyebrows, not a single expression when it comes to the eyebrows.
Settling.
Ooh, that was a good one. Settling, right? That's the type of expressions, and the facial expression will always tell the story. So before they even utter a word, you can read who they are based off of their facial expression. Now, their first sentence, and I love this part, right? This point right here is my favorite point. Their first sentence is the absolute quickest way you can identify what type of person they are. Why? Is because if you ask someone, how you doing? Then they say, get to the point. What are they?
A driver.
It's a driver.
Okay, now if you say, how you doing today? And they say, I'm great. How you doing, my love? What are they?
Expressive.
Expressive. Now, if someone comes to the door and you're like, hey, how you doing? They're like, hey, what's this about? What y'all doing here?
Analytical,
right? But if someone comes to the door and they're like, hey, honey, how you doing today? My name is
amicable,
right? Their first sentence is always going to tell you who they are, right? My favorite thing is, how are you doing? Because how they respond tells me who they are. Literally, how they respond will tell me exactly who they are.
That's why
their first sentence lets me know, okay, oh, you a driver. I'm gonna get to the point with this guy. Oh, you expressive. All right, let me chill out. Let me match their energy. Ask them about how their day is going. Oh, you're analytical. I bet. Let me get ready with all the facts in my brain. Okay, you're amiable. Let me be calm. No pressure. We're here to chill. Probably pull up a chair. I'm already setting the tone before. Now, listen to the tone. Watch their body language. Look at their pace. Watch their facial expression and listen to their first sentence. I promise you, you are going to read these people like books. Super, super seamlessly. Now, we're going on to our personality cheat sheet, right? Now, here what it is the type of personality, what to do, what to avoid, and the closing tactic to use, right? So for the driver, you are to be direct, confident, straight to the point, concise. Avoid small talk with these types of people. They do not want to know how their day is. They don't want to know how your day is. Talk to them about the benefits, about the features, and close. The closing tactic to utilize with these types of people is chicken or fish. The reason why we use chicken or fish with these types of people is because it is a method to keep people in the mindset of thinking they are in full control. These people think that they're in full control. Mind you, you're the one giving them the options to choose from. Now, an expressive person, right? Be lively with them. Be human, more importantly. Do not be monotone. Don't be boring. Don't shoulders down. They got the music bumping and they're super high energy and you're just boring, right? They don't want that. They want you to match their energy at all times.
They want you to start dancing.
Thank you, Jayleen. Thank you, Jay. What type of Jayleen?
The song with
if they're playing bachata, you're dancing bachata. All right? If they're whatever they're playing, you're dancing with them, move with them, vibe with them. Now, provide stories as well. These people are motivated by the Jones effect. They do what other people are doing. So share success stories, right? Share details, right? Point at the solar. Refer to people's neighbors if you're doing ESCO and you're in a building, right? Refer to neighbors, right? Talk about how you helped someone save money for 25 years, right? Speak to people's success. Now, when you're speaking to someone who's analytical, give facts, give details, know your product. Do not oversell. Now, what we end up doing is that we end up overcooking analytical people because we think that they want everything. They don't need everything. They need what they ask for. So give them what they ask for. Don't oversell. Don't jump into all the different benefits and features because now it looks like you're just trying to sell them. And what that does is that kills indifference. People don't want to be sold. They want to be understood. Don't oversell. Instead, give them what they ask for, right? Ask if they have any more questions, then close. Make sure that during the closing, make sure that you provide logic, right? Make sure that you provide facts, details. Be confident with these people because they do not like uncertainty. The moment that you are uncertain, they are uncertain whether or not you know what you're doing. And then last but not least, we have our amiable people. Be warm with these people, right? Do not rush with them. Be warm, slow, speak to them slowly, lower yourself, take your hat off if you have to, right? But don't rush them into a sale. Instead, give them reassurance. What happens is that when you give them the reassurance, they feel safer. And that safety that you create with them is going to go a very, very long way. Because guess what? The other 3,000 people that knocked on their door didn't give them the reassurance. They didn't give them that safety. They rushed them in. They weren't warned, right? Be the person that does things differently. Now, with that being said, these are our 4 conversations. Our 4 types of people, 4 types of personalities, right? Utilize this immediately because what that's going to do, this is going to change the way you look at people when you're at these doors. It's going to change the way you look at every other person. You're going to understand that every single person in direct sales, it's not a one size fits all type of thing, right? We can't just one size fits all everybody. We can't just come to everybody with the same intro, same rebuttals, same everything, right? And this is because this is a business of people. This is a people business. And just like how we have different fingerprints, people have different personalities. People have different ways they want to be spoken to, different ways that they understand things, different ways that they want to be sold, right? Now, the moment that we fully understand every single one of these personalities types and respond effectively, I promise you your money is going to grow. My money grew the moment I understood this. So just remember, guys, right? A driver is result focused and decisive. They like control, speed, and efficiency. Expressive people are social, energetic, and enthusiastic. They're motivated by excitement, recognition, and vision. Analytical people are logical, detail-oriented, and cautious. They need facts, they need structure, they need clarity. And our amiable people present are patient, warm, and are relationship focused. They value trust, they value harmony, they value reassurance. So now that we know who they are, we can identify them effectively. Now, in the event that you guys have any questions, any comments pertaining to this, you can let me know. Antoine, you can let me know if my time is up, my brother, but this is the ending of my lesson. I hope that you guys took a lot from this. This is something I've been dying to train for a very, very long time. And I'm just really excited you guys were able to pick it up, ask questions, and be engaged. So thank you again, you guys. And Antoine, the floor is yours.
Let's go. Let's clap it up for Faye.
Yeah, Faye.
That's a fire workshop. That's a fire workshop. I actually teach this exact same workshop when I was in solar for a decade as well. It's one of my favorites. I teach this with the 4 stages or levels of consciousness as well. So this was great. I think everybody took a lot of juice from this. I did want to open it up for questions, but we're kind of short on time, guys. So make sure to write your question down there may be time at the end for us to double back and have some questions for Faye, for her to clear up or to answer. So write them down. We're about to take lunch, right?
Yes, I love questions, guys. Write them down.
Yeah, write them down. Write down some feedback as well. I know that, again, Faye,
yes, feedback,
really
coachable.
appreciate when you're on mute. She'll really appreciate that feedback. So write those things down and be able to connect with her afterwards. All right, guys. So we're going to take a 1 hour lunch. We're going to take an hour lunch, right? Enjoy your lunch. Grab something that's not going to make you sleepy, right? Don't get the itis, because we got 2 more presenters when we come back. Tiff's going to be talking about bio, as well as Asani is going to go over the impulse factors. I love how everything leads right into one another. So just come back ready to learn, get some more juice. So we are going to break from 1:15 to 2:15. Everybody got that? 1:15 to 2:15. Be
Antoine.
on here. Bright Eye and Bushy Tail. What's going on?
Antoine, should we stay on this call or should we hop out and we hop back in?
You can hop out and hop back in. It's up to you guys.
Yeah,
You can put your camera on off. It's up to you guys. This is recorded, actually. Yeah, go ahead and hop off. So that way I can divvy up the recordings. I'll start recording when we jump back on the link.
Deuce.
Any other questions? Let's go. All right, we got an hour, guys. Enjoy. Eat something good.
DCB.
Shoes.
Wait, so it's an hour or 45 minutes?
We got an hour. Come back at 2:15. 2:15.
Okay.
2:15.
Thank you.
No problem.